It is the worst day of the week, brush washing day. So let's wash them. So here's my brush cleaning essentials. It is my Beauty Blender, the big black solid one that's got the charcoal in it. And it comes with this little cleaning mat, but I use my big Sigma one, which you can get a different kind of one that's like an off-brand off of Amazon. Obviously my dirty brushes. And then you need a microfiber towel. This absorbs the water the best so that they dry faster. So again, the soap that I use is the Beauty Blender, the solid charcoal one, or if you want a more affordable option, there is the Shea Moisture 100% virgin coconut oil shea butter soap. This one has like grit in it. You can see the little black dots that helps exfoliate a bit. And I think it's the coconut oil in here that really breaks down like everything. So if you have like a gross built up concealer brush or like a foundation brush, it'll really get this stuff clean in like record timing. So I do have a whole long video on how I dry my brushes, but I figure I can just go over it rapid speed real quick. I take a cotton round that I have in this little mason jar filled with isopropyl alcohol. I usually use 70%, and I just wipe down the handles of all my brushes. I'm about done, so this one's kind of like grimy looking. But I do this because it will clean anything that's off the handles from like dirty hands touching it. If you get foundation on your hands or something and you're touching your brushes, it's gonna keep like touching onto other brushes and all that nastiness. I'm kind of a germaphobe when it comes to my brushes, but this is exactly why I do this again once a week. And this like really, it's just like not cute. It just takes all the dirtiness off of my brushes, and I don't feel as gross. Especially because like, you know, you use primer and stuff with your fingers and you'll touch things and everything else in your kit and whatnot, and it just gets gross. So I like to wipe down the handles of everything after I wash it. So then what I'll do is I'll just run them on my microfiber towel. This absorbs so much more water than just a regular cotton towel. So I usually just grab the bristles on a corner of my brush. A corner of my towel, and I'll just like squeeze out the excess water. I'll do that for all of them, and then I hang them up on my brush trees. I do have this one from Amazon, which was probably like $10, and sometimes you can get them to come with the silicone mat. That's like the one that I use for my Sigma one. And that one is great, especially if you're just trying to be very low budget about it. I mean, they're amazing. I have a million of these. And my other favorite one is also from Sigma. This is part of their like whole system that they have. You can stack a bunch of them. They have ones for foundation brushes as well. I don't really use that one that much. The eye brush one is my favorite. I only have 3 brushes for my eyes that I clean today because I've become a super low maintenance girly with my makeup recently, and I've just been like throwing bronzer in my crease. But I'll just put them in here. These rubber bands are supposed to keep the shape of the brush so they don't like flay out like this one you can see already is. If I put this in here to dry, it's going to keep the shape of it. So you'll put it in through the bottom. There are 3 small ones and 1 big one, 3 small ones, 1 big one going around the whole thing. This is a bigger tip, so I will put it in the bigger one. So it just goes through the bottom and you put it in the top like that, and you leave the bristles that they are inside here. Now this, again, is to keep the bristles together so that they're not flaying out after they got washed. So here are my 3 together that are in here, and these are just my eye brushes. So then I'll go around to my regular brushes and put them in my brush tree, and just again, upside down. You do not want to keep them like this because it will break down the glue in here and will loosen the bristles, and they'll just fall apart easier. My brushes, at this point, I haven't bought a new brush in years, and I just abuse them like crazy, and I always am washing them. So keeping them upside down. If you don't want to buy a brush tree, if you at least leave it flat on your counter like this, just don't put it back in your cup like this when they're wet, because you want the water again to come out the tips and not sit here in the ferrule. So here are my brushes in the brush tree. They're all facing down, and I'm just going to leave them out like this, and they will be dry by morning. You can also order these little egg holder things from Beauty Sponges on Amazon, but this one I didn't use, so it's not washed. It's just hard and small, but normally I'd put the wet one in here and it would be bigger than this container. But it will keep it out so that the water can nicely dry out and it's not sitting on anything to like hold moisture and like grow mold or anything gross. My last other tip is to get one of these acrylic brush holders. It is my favorite because it has this lid on it. So when my brushes are in here and I have this closed, I know no extra dirt or anything is getting on them. And I always keep it separate from my clean brushes. So this is where I use my brushes, and I put them in here so I know that when I'm going to grab my brushes to clean, I'm grabbing these and I'm not touching my clean ones. And my clean ones are separate from my dirty. They're not all sitting in a little cup together, so they're not touching each other and getting each other gross. This is where I store all my brushes. I have way more than any one person needs, but this is how I keep them all organized. So all of these are clean. They're all sanitized and everything. So if I need a different brush, I'll take it out, and after I use it, it will go in here. So I will keep it separate from these. So there's no reason for me to be guessing which ones are clean and dirty together. So anyone that's in here is definitely dirty and will be used when I clean them at the end of the week. So my biggest recommendations are to wash your brushes at least once a month minimum. I know a lot of people that haven't ever washed their brushes, and that's like fine, but I'm sure once you wash it, you're gonna see like a huge difference in how it applies, and it's just gonna feel better on your skin. And it will let myself feel better knowing that it is clean. I am a stickler for that. It's very good if you have like breakouts or sensitive skin to make sure that everything that goes on your face is clean and fresh and sanitized. If you're using a super old brush that's probably collected so much bacteria and moisture and just buildup, it'll help with streakiness, and it will definitely, again, help with breakouts. So if you're ever concerned with like your skin feeling gross recently, try and take a break from makeup, number 1, and number 2, clean your brushes. It holds so much more bacteria than you know. So again, that is my bougie brush drying and cleaning routine. Try and do this once a week. That's my goal usually. I try not to go more than 2 or 3 weeks. I just haven't really been doing makeup recently, so I haven't needed to clean them. But I do feel so much better with clean brushes, and just knowing that I'm gonna get to do a full face tomorrow with all fresh and sanitized brushes. So try and clean yours, and stop scrolling on TikTok. Go clean your brushes. Love you. Mwah. Also, I know this is a 10-minute video, so if you're here till the end, leave a lipstick emoji. Thanks, love you, bye.